Woo!
Woo! Woo!
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo. We're back at it again with episode 4.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. Back to one mic.
One mic because
There's having some technical difficulties.
I figured I had the engineer here to get
It was
all
working.
the bugs out, and
It was working.
apparently he could not.
Well, back at it again. Start off with the daily
Cigars.
cigar and the daily drink.
What'd you bring for us today, brother?
Today. Oh, this is dog. Today.
We thought there were gunshots. Just for you guys that are like, what the hell are they talking about? Yeah, it's the hood, the water that we talked about in our episode 3 podcast. So we thought they were shooting at something. But anyways, what did you bring for us?
Today again from we're not sponsored yet, but from Total Wine.
Shout out to Total Wine.
And got me some. These are called.
Yeah, now those were screams, which might come into play with what our topic is about today, later on tonight. But anyways,
Chillin' Moose.
what the fuck were they saying?
I don't know. It's the neighbor. Got some Chillin' Moose, and then for the drink, I brought some Chivas Regal. It's a 12 years blended Scotch whiskey, produce of Scotland.
Woo! Now for you guys that couldn't catch up to our last podcast, we had Don Sergio Tequila. I think it was pretty smooth, right? It was a pretty good smooth tequila. I've never had it. I like it. I think I would buy it again.
I actually recommended it today.
Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you about that here in a sec after I turn on my cigar. My Chillin' Moose.
And Chivas Regal, I've a Regal. I don't recall having any. I've had Buchanan's, but I don't think I've had Chivas. Maybe I have. I've been drinking a lot since I was young. Since I was small, 4 years old. I'm joking. I don't want CPS come to the casa and get my parents to get a 4-year-old out. But anyways, yeah. I mean, we'll see how that goes and test us these cigars. The cigars now, I don't really know about cigars, but they've been pretty good.
Yeah, we've been choosing some El Cheapo, and I've been by our view. Some of our viewers have criticized me for the choices of cigars.
Oh, really? I'm guessing that's at your job. What are they saying? What kind of trash are you giving? That's garbage.
So, one of my colleagues said that. So the ones you brought last time, what were they?
I don't remember.
They were called. Oh, they're right here. I think.
Yeah, they are.
I think they're called Cuban Rounds.
Yeah.
Cuban Rounds, they're the cheapest ones. He said he buys those to fill up his, what's it called? The box that you put in?
Humidor?
Humidor. A humidor.
Okay.
So he fills up the humidor with cheap cigars so that it can keep the moisture in it.
So what? Keep the moisture. So pretty much what he's saying is we're fucking smoking fucking like pieces of wood.
Yes, exactly. So he's saying like it's the cheap cigar you can buy the big packs to fill up your humidor, so it can keep the moisture in because you need that content. If you have a big box and you don't have like 4 or 5 good ones, then you need something to like keep that moisture in besides the little thing that you put in.
That's a good idea. I mean, now you should
But
have.
we bought those to smoke.
You should have asked them though. Were they good cigars for super beginners? Like fucking beginners like us. Like we're just. If you give us a twig, we'll be like, oh, we're smoking the fucking twig cigar.
That's true.
So,
and these were cheap too. These were like freaking $3, I think.
And again, we're choosing the very economy cigars, just for anybody that's never. I mean, I'm not gonna spend $50 on a cigar if I don't know how to really smoke it and savor it. You know what I mean? But I mean. It's about have him give us pointers, you know.
Well, he said that when he's gonna come, he's gonna bring us some good cigars, some good. I can't remember if he said bourbon or whiskey, but somewhere along those lines. What? But to that,
now we're gonna test out this
Chivas. Is it Regal or Regal?
Depends on how drunk you are.
I think it's Regal.
Or if you're a gangster, you got a Regal. What kind of car you got? Regal, bro. Buick Regal. Damn. The fuck? That's not even the...
It's not the same, right?
Yeah,
A little more on mine.
I know y'all can't see this, but yeah, he poured probably like half a glass on mine and like a quarter of his, so...
Should probably put up the camera and start recording.
We need to... Like, I feel we started off with the fucking bang between us. Just, I know everybody that's like, what the fuck are they talking about? No fucking bang, but... And then it's like slowing down. What do we need to do? Maybe a guest? Do we need to have our first guest?
I think so. Well, we were going to have our first guest today, but...
You know.
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens. I was thinking, because our first guest, just FYI, would probably be the wives. But they don't like smoke. How are we going to do that?
So next Friday is going to be nice weather. Outside.
I like that.
It's going to be in the 70s. We're still in the third winter storm right now, I believe, right?
For Texas.
So I think Friday's forecast is going to be set in the 70s.
I think that's going to be good. You know, maybe we can get them some margarita drinks. I bought those Cayman Jacks.
Those are good.
Those are real good. I take that.
The wife likes those.
I like those.
Yeah, they're strong too.
They are.
When I was at Total Wine, I was looking for something to drink, right? And you know how you get that feeling when somebody's staring at you?
Yeah.
I was looking at the section of the little bottles.
Ghost.
I went to the. We didn't say how good this is. Let's check it out.
Pretty good. Tastes like
Tastes like Jack.
It tastes like whiskey.
Tastes like whiskey.
Like tastes like a 12-year barrel of whiskey.
You think it's blended Scotch whiskey? Oh, when I was there, the lady from Total Wine came up to me. She's like, "What are you looking for?" She sounded like Irish or something, like really thick accent. She's like, "Can I help you, sweetie?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just looking for something like just to try out new. I have no idea what I'm looking at." And she's like, "Oh," and then she went to grab a bottle. It said 120 proof.
Whoa.
And she's like, "This, honey, this is great. Just mix this with some little bit of like liqueur and, ooh, honey." And I was like, "Okay, oh, okay, yeah." And then she's like, "You need to get this." And I was like, "Okay, thank you."
Was it expensive or
no? It was like $12, I think, for the little one, like this size.
Maybe she's trying to rape you. Who knows? I mean, how old was she?
It was a Total Wine lady. She was like 70.
Yeah, she was trying to rape you, bro.
No, she wasn't that old. I'm thinking she was, I would say, like between 70 and death. So, but that she left right. I was like, "Okay, thank you very much, ma'am." And she took off, and she went. She was the register lady. I made sure not to go to her register after I got my choice. But I was there looking. I was like, "Man, should I get some?" I saw some Crown. I was tempted to get Crown Royal. I was tempted to get Buchanan's. They had a little bottle of Buchanan's, a small one. I was like, "But I have that at home." And then I was looking for Remy. I was like, "Man, maybe if I find a little bottle of Remy Martin, I'll take that."
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. And then I felt somebody just looking at me and staring at me. And I was like,
maybe was it that old lady?
No. I was like, maybe because I don't have a mask on. And I turned around, there's this dude, like this white dude, young fella. He's like, "Hey, you drink tequila?"
What did you say? God damn, what? You see me brown? What am I from the Middle East?
I have a big ass nose, so I might be Greek.
Might drink some Greek stuff.
But I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I definitely drink tequila." I'm trying to change it up this time. I'm trying to find something else. He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "You got anything you recommend?" I was like, "Actually, yes."
No, hold up. Was he a fucking?
He was a white guy.
Yeah, you said that.
He was my age.
Yeah.
He was around our age.
Okay, but my whole question is, was he an employee?
No. He was a random dude. He was there. He's like, "We're just trying to find something small and cheap."
He's probably a spy from the comadre. Your wife, just because you fucking old ladies are trying to hit on you.
So, it's not the first time an old lady's trying to hit me. But, that's another story for another day. He was like, "Oh yeah, you have a recommendation for a tequila?" I was like, "For sure, yeah." I was like, "Don Sergio," that's a little bottle of Don Sergio, right? I was like, hey, we actually just tried it. Believe it or not, I have a podcast.
Nice.
Oh, for real? I was like, yeah, I got a podcast. And that's what we're doing. We're just trying out new ones. We actually just tried this one out. This Don Sergio is really good. And it was a Blanco. You should probably get the Añejo, and I bet you it's really smooth. And he's like, oh, yeah. Have you had Lalo? And I was like, yes, Lalo is really good. He's like, yeah, that's a Blanco too. It's really nice. And I was like, yes, it's a really good one. It's actually Don Julio's grandson. Don Julio got bought out, but his grandson came up with that one. He's like, yeah. I was like, if you're looking for something else to try, I recommend the San Matias. He's like, it's like really good bottle. It's cheap, but it's really good. He's like, oh, but they don't have it here, do they? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's over there. He's like, oh, really? Yeah, it's like $20. You can buy a 3/4 bottle, 3/4 liter. He's like, oh, thank you very much. And he just took off and went. And I was about to ask him, I was like, hey, what do you recommend? Like, because I don't want tequila. But he just took off and left.
So what you're also saying is Total Wine should give you some type of commission because you just made, and whatever tequila that he took, was it San Matias?
I don't know. Probably San Matias. Because he took off. He's like, oh, yeah,
some type of commission, bro. Sometime.
To that. For sure. I mean, Total Wine out if you're listening, if you're a listener. I'm going to post this podcast on your page.
You should do it. I mean, nothing bad about the other ones, which are specs and I don't know. I mean, Total Wine seems a little bit more like
it's a little cheaper than.
It's a little cheaper and it feels more homish. I mean, you have people come up to, hey, what can I help you with? You know? So
yeah, definitely.
That's a good place to go shop, guys.
Positives from there.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Just FYI, it's February 25th.
I'll bleep
sad
that
news. Sad. Why? Sad news. I mean, just if you're under a rock, we're actually at war. We're not us, but the world is. Russia and Ukraine. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, that is some crazy shit. I was looking at some videos of that. You see that one with the little
the little car that got run over by the tank.
The tank. And he survived though. That guy.
He survived. He got ran over by a tank. But I was just thinking about some of those videos. It's like, fuck, we're in the year 2022, and some country's invading another country. It's like, you see it in movies and stuff, but it's like, damn, you know. I mean, don't want to get into politics. Politics is something different, and I think politics and religion maybe down the road when we have a little bit more, I don't know, listeners / credibility. We might credibility of what we're talking about. Might have
credibility.
Have some type of topic, but as of now, no politics or religion. What we can't talk about is
but
spit it out
about Ukraine and Russia.
Oh,
and then did you see how China is trying to invade Taiwan now too?
Oh, they've been doing that for a while.
Well,
not invade, but wasn't it part of Taiwan?
Yeah, so they're pretty much saying they're
Taiwan's trying to.
Taiwan's saying we're our own country.
Yes, they're trying to.
And then they sent a message to the U.S. They told them, hey,
yeah, because Taiwan's very, very. I think the U.S. supports it.
Right, and they're telling them to
back the fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. They're saying, hey, if you're gonna do this, you need to be ready.
But
it's gonna come at you.
But I was talking to my parents this afternoon, and we were talking about the same thing. You start thinking like shit, but then you see stuff on the videos that kind of pumps you up. And I saw this video of some general, dude, straight up USA general. It might have been a very old video, or it might have been new, but dude, it's like, what? Whoa, yeah, you don't want to fuck with us, because he's in a podium, and he's like, whoever wants to come to war, or wants to give the United States of America war, all I gotta tell you is this.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Have you seen it? He goes, just make sure, by God, you just better make sure that your kids have somebody to take care of, because we're gonna go at you all the way. It's like, holy
your kids will not have somebody to come home to or something like that.
Yeah, and they're like, damn.
Yeah, I saw that one actually today.
I did too. I think
it was on TikTok.
I think it was on TikTok.
I think TikTok is spying on us.
Maybe, but it kind of makes you feel like
it is Chinese spyware.
It could be. It is. But yeah, it makes you feel like, well, you know what, dude? Fuck it.
I saw a lot of videos that they compared NATO versus Russia, like all the military stuff that they have, equipment like tanks and
It's
and
not
all that.
compared to them, right?
And it's like Russia is like lower in most of those categories.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody commented like, "Man, I bet the U.S. would be horrible versus NATO." And like NATO minus U.S. and then like the U.S. compared like to the 26 countries that NATO like whips all of them, like has so much more things than all the other countries combined with NATO.
Well, I mean, the United States. Just sometimes all those videos come up, and it's like you don't realize how much power, military power, the U.S. has. It's like until you start seeing like all the tanks and airplanes, aircraft carriers. It's like, holy shit.
But then again, I mean, my number one news source is TikTok, so that could be a lie.
90% of it might be a lie.
They're just numbers that they put up on a screen, and obviously it has to be true because it's on TikTok.
It's true if it's on the internet. It's true. But yeah, nice. I like the cigar. It's a pretty good cigar, man.
Yeah.
It's not as fucking big like the last one. Fucking the size of my dick.
But
don't bleep that out. This one's a little bit smaller like yours, but it's all
I had to
good.
bleep so many things out for the last podcast.
Ah, man. Maybe you're going overboard on the bleeping. Maybe.
But I think I'm doing the bleeping on the stuff that sounds funny. Like
I know.
No,
but
but like
on a kid.
Yeah. I have to go disclaimer. But like when you
maybe we should do a disclaimer from like the beginning, like disclaimer. Everything that is said here is just for fun.
Right.
Nothing is serious, right? I mean, any of you guys that are out there and that might have a little bit of law type of education, can we do that and then just talk about anything?
Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think it works.
You're right.
It's like saying, no offense, but
without due respect. Without due respect.
Bless your heart.
Bless you. I mean, if it was like it was back in the old days, remember? Like, well, I know you don't. What kind of? I was born in the 80s, so.
I was born in the 80s.
80s, too. And man, the fucking shows we had were the shit. What kind of cartoons do you remember watching when we were little?
Man,
I mean, what happened to Saturdays? Remember, wake up Saturday and there was fucking cartoons. Now you wake up and you hear preachers and shit.
There was just the first few that come on, preachers.
Well, that's Sunday probably, but it's like shit. I would wake up, get my cornflakes, my cereal, watch fucking cornflakes.
Some cornflakes.
I mean,
yeah, it was back in the day, man. I remember the days would be so long in the summer.
Yeah.
We'd wake up. I would watch. There was Rugrats. There was Gargoyles. You remember Gargoyles? You're fucking way older than me, but.
There's fucking cartoons that I watched that you don't even fucking
know. Dennis the Menace cartoon.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
You remember
DuckTales,
and then did you ever watch Animaniacs?
Yeah, Animaniacs.
Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain. Let me throw something at you right here. Old school for you old folks like me. Did you ever see the cartoons? The name of it was Mask, not The Mask. Mask. The fucking cartoon was the shit. So. Anybody that's out there listening, if y'all remember. So this is fucking like cars and helicopters that fucking... you could say they were not the first, because I'm not sure, but kind of like Transformers. So the guy, my favorite character was, I don't remember his name, but he drove a fucking red Camaro. And then when he fucking hit a button on the car, the fucking doors would open up like Lamborghini doors, and a fucking like motorcycle fucking mask would land on his face, like he was riding a fucking crotch rocket. Dude. And then they would fight fucking helicopters that turned into some fucking weird shit.
Is it this right here?
Let me see. That's the one, bro! That's the shit right there, dude. I was like, what
Volume
the fuck?
1 Mask.
And being a poor Mexican.
I'm gonna try to put that on the screen. Like,
that'll be badass, dude.
I can just bring the screen.
That's the shit. How'd you even bring that shit up? Like that quick?
Wow.
Google. But we were poor, but we weren't poor. I'll give that. We were not poor. But being the Hispanic... Mexican that I am, we would fucking go to a lot of garage sales. And I remember that I found a car. Man, it was that red one. Camaro. Woo! What about He-Man? Did you ever see He-Man, the cartoon?
He-Man? No, I know I've heard of it, but it wasn't my time.
And then Thundercats. Thunder, 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 thunder. Oh! They were singing like that. I don't know. Maybe it's the fucking Chivas Regal, but
Chivas
those
Regal.
are old school shit, dude.
That is old school, man.
I mean, those were the shit.
there was
Ninja
one-
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. There was
Who did you identify yourself with Ninja Turtles? Everybody says Michelangelo, but technically, who did you say that? That's me.
Probably Donatello.
Hmm?
I think Donatello. Donnie. Some Donnie.
I think so.
But there was this show, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Bobby's World. Did you
Bobby's
watch
World,
Bobby's
of
World?
course.
I bring that up all the time. Nobody remembers it.
Bobby's World, the big ass head.
Yeah.
That was the first. That was the first Hey Arnold.
It was running his
Big
little
ass
fucking
fucking
tricycle.
head. Bobby's World.
Bobby's World. That was a cool show, man. Bobby's World, and there was gargoyles. And then once you got a little older, once I got a little older. Recess. And then Teletubbies.
No. Fucking might as well say Barney. I watched Barney. Barney was pretty cool.
I watched Barney when I was little.
But what about Power Rangers? Oh,
Power Rangers. Everybody was the White Ranger or the Green Ranger. I was the Green Ranger.
You know which one that I literally saw the originals. Kind of like I'm going back old school. That did not. I don't think. I mean, the cartoons are out there, but they're not like out there like now. But you know which one that I saw that was, and I heard the same thing. Garage sales are the fucking gold mine. My mom bought me a fucking toy. God, that was the best, probably the best toy I've ever had.
Micro Machines?
Voltron.
Oh, Voltron.
Ooh, that was a badass show. You know, I try to tell my kids. The good thing is I can download bootleg a lot of underground shit that you're not allowed. But you know, I got some cartoon sections to where they're looking at that, and it's like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, yeah, that's what I can look at.
Wait. This one's gonna bring back memories.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z! Dude, I remember
but the Mexican version.
Exactly, I don't know what I was gonna say.
Like
when we go to Mexico.
Yeah.
And then the primos would be like, hey, el Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Kame.
Mexico, I tell you what, Mexico, woof. Dude. I love it because it's great. I mean, do you remember going and then fucking getting those chips and like weird shit in the kind of like how it is here in the States where you would get the cereal and you would get the toy, which I don't think they do that anymore.
Tazos, you remember Tazos?
Tazos,
Pogs. Micro Machines. You remember Micro Machines? Remember I used to mess up all your G.I. Joes too?
Yeah,
I don't remember any of that, dude.
I know you don't, but I do. When I got old enough to realize what a G.I. Joe, because I used to watch G.I. Joe, of course, everybody had to watch G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
So when we would go to garage sales again, I mean, I would get G.I. Joes, and I started having a collection. So I had a lunchbox full of G.I. Joes, pimp ass, the originals, right? And so I would hide them in this lunchbox and literally hide the lunchbox because my little brother would grab them. And like the first time that I realized that you had no fucking clue what you were doing with toys was when we started playing and you start to pull them apart. Like the fucking little rubber bands would like fly away, arms and shit. I'm like, Mom. She's like, let them play. So I would hide them. And I still remember that one time. It was one sad afternoon. I get home from playing with my friends and I see that lunchbox on the floor. Empty. It was fucking empty. And I was like, oh God, where the fuck are the Joes? And I'm looking all over the floor and I'm like, these aren't here. What the fuck? So I'm going to my room. And of course, there's nothing in my room. And at the same time, I glanced towards your room. And there you are on the floor, laughing, looking at me with fucking arms and legs all over. And there I go crying, Ma! And she's like, what? All scared. Ulises fucked up my... Well, I didn't say fucked up. He destroyed him. Let him be. No! And all you did was laugh, bro. You fucked up my G.I. Joe. So all we did at the end of the day was... This is how different the times were back then. We grabbed the lifeless G.I. Joes that were left. And our boy Junior, may he rest in peace. We would tie up dynamite, not those black cats, fucking firecrackers, and just blow them up. And you think about it, I don't even trust my 14, 15-year-old fucking firecrackers right now. And we were like 9, 10. Like,
the thing is that we would just disappear for the like in the summertime. I remember just saying, "Mom, I'll go ride my bike with my friends." All right, mijo.
Yep.
Just take off, man. Who knows where we were? You know, my parents didn't know where we were. I would ride my bike all the way to donde estaba Kmart.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I would go rollerblading all back here. I hit a car down there because I couldn't stop on my rollerblades. And there were like old people sitting in the front yard that were just laughing at us. But we would rollerblade all the way over there. We would go to the donde está, ¿cómo se llama?
Kmart?
Donde está $2 right now. There used to be something else. There used to be like the drive on this the docks. The docks for the traders, and we would jump off those.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, all that like. I would just take off.
Times were different. I mean,
and now I wouldn't let Junior go ride his bike.
No,
the street.
No. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, granted, your kids they're still young, they're little. But mine's are fucking almost half are teenagers and the other half are about to be. We used to play tackle football.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Or how we would call it, sideline kills, in the streets, and tackle football in the streets, and we would go to fields and. Now, I mean, either we were just wild and didn't give a fuck, or our kids are stupid now. Dumb. I'll put it to you. They're dumber. Or we're just overprotective. I don't know.
I think we're overprotective.
Probably a combination of everything, because, I mean, damn. And you know what? Also, as the days, the times, even though we think we're in the same, they're different. I mean, it's dangerous. It's more dangerous now than it was back then.
Also, you have social media and everybody's recording everything.
Yes.
So you see all this crazy stuff, kids getting abducted, which always has happened, but it's just that we're more aware of it, and that kind of scares us.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
But to that, like, doing that, remember we used to have a lot of micro machines, a whole bunch of toys we put in a recycling box?
Yeah.
And then my dad just threw all those toys away?
Yeah.
And then we used the recycling box, drilled it onto a skateboard?
Yes, and we would just
haul ass down the street.
Have a good time.
Remember Pauline? He's like, I'll do it first, and then he busted his ass the first time. Was it Pauline? I think he got in, and we pushed him down the street.
No, was it the street or it was a sidewalk? And there was a bump on the sidewalk towards the end, and we would put a piece of board, like a cardboard, not a cardboard, a piece of wood. So his sidewalk was probably, let's say, it's maybe about about a 20-yard length. And we would start off at the very end where George's house is, and we would push each other. And then when we got to the end where
George's house,
there was we would put a piece of wood to make it like a ramp. And we would just fly and see how far we would fly. Man, those were great days, man. We would land and just see how far, and the next person had to see how they could beat that range. And
remember, we used to put a soda can on your bike so it make it sound like a motorcycle.
Yep. And then our neighbor where my parents live, it used to be an open field. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
But I tell this to my kids every time they're like complaining about doing chores and shit. I'm like, look, I still remember when that place was an open field, and that was our sand lot. We would play ball right there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I remember, it's like my dad, I know it wasn't like this, but it felt like every time I was about to go up to bat the second or third time, my dad would just wait to see until I was up to bat. And then at that time, he would scream at me, come mow the lawn. And I'm like, Dad, come mow it. Be Mexican dad, I would have to come. And our that lawn wasn't like how it is now. It was fucking massive.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to mow the lawn. But
the backyard?
The backyard, the side, and the front. The whole side was full of grass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't do much. But
and then we had to do pitch. Remember we had the basketball court in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was bad.
Remember what we had in the front? Remember we used to play, we had like...
we had a carport. Right? And we would play hockey.
We played hockey. That's what I was about to say. We had our phases. We had the baseball phase. Then we had
wiffle ball.
That you can remember. Yeah, the wiffle ball. Then we had the basketball phase when we had the back court, and then the front court. And then, do you remember the soccer phase?
Soccer phase.
That was probably one of the best soccer fun phases that we had, which was 1994. 1994 World Cup here when we were playing our neighbor's backyard because he had like a very green grass. Me, you, Pauline, JR. We made like a super small field in the back of his house, and we would play soccer there.
Whose backyard?
Pauline's.
Oh, on the side of my parents' house?
No. In the back of his yard. You don't remember?
No,
it was 94. How old were you? 87? You were 7 years
I
old.
was like 7.
Man, those were
I can't remember.
days.
Maybe, I don't know.
I
don't
remember. We
remember.
marked it with like a fucking spray paint. It was a shit. But those were the days. I mean, now, tell your fucking dog to shut the fuck up. Shit. Whatever your name is, I'll get Chicho to eat you.
Well, because the neighbors are outside.
Fuck the neighbors. Fuck your fucking neighbors. They can't hear me, that's what I'm saying. And their kids, the children. There's like children's all over me. No, but back in the days were, man, sometimes not sometimes, like a very small amount of seconds of my life that I'm thinking about. I'm like, sometimes I wish my kids would experience that, like, the real fun,
Right.
not just social media or video
It's
games.
just video games now. But video games were cool back then, too.
Yeah, but we weren't like that, like
Nah.
fucking sprung. Well, of course, yeah. Nowadays, video games are the shit compared to Mario and shit.
Yeah, but like NFL Blitz, Tecmo Super Bowl,
NBA Jam.
NBA Jams. He's on fire.
It's on fire. It was crazy shit, scary shit compared to now.
Oh, did you hear? Did you know that? You remember the well? Oh, here it goes. Did you know the person who invented Velcro died? Rip.
Wow.
That's a good joke. It's a joke segment of the day.
I was about to say we're gonna have a joke segment because that's.
It must take guts to be an organ donor.
I'll tell you what. Here's another one. If two vegetarians are arguing, does that mean that they have beef? Or do they just squash it out?
That's
Wow, you didn't get it?
Horrible joke. Horrible dead.
Two vegetarians, do they have beef between each other? Or do they just squash it?
I get it.
No, I don't think
I
you did. Your fucking face shows
Here goes.
it.
Here's another one. Why didn't the toilet paper make it across the street?
I don't know.
It got stuck in the crack.
Wow, that's some scary shit. You know what's scary? The fucking ghost, dog! I gotta tell you about some ghost shit that's going on in my parents' house.
Ghost, yeah, that's crazy, man.
My parents' house, I don't feel it's scary. I think the only time that I thought it was scary with my parents' house was when our grandma died. And it not necessarily when she died, like on, I don't know how to say it, like immediately, days after she passed. No. It was weird. It was like months after she passes when I started to feel like, what the fuck? I remember I went over to their house one day and I was like, I don't like this. I felt weird. I felt weird in the house. You know what was really weird? When we caught that fucking demon voice in the other house.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking, what the fuck? You're going all over the place.
Dude.
Other house. So
No, that was crazy. Yeah, that was.
So check this out. So my parents.
I don't even have that recording no more. I don't think.
I think my kids broke it. My parents they bought their first rental home a while back, and when my dad bought that rental house, I still remember it.
Was it the first one? That wasn't the first one.
That was the very first one they bought.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
No, it was that one.
Who's there no more? You or me?
I'm older, so I think it's me. Some hippies lived there. So my dad, because he took me, bro. He's like, because I was his interpreter, in a way. Anyways, they're there making the deal, the whole works, and the oldest hippie, if you want to put it like that, he tells my dad after everything, he said, hey, well, thank you for buying the home and whatnot. Just, can you do me a favor? So my dad's like, sure. Well, I said, sure. And he's like, check this out. Our mom passed away a while back, but we kept her urn. And so we lost the urn here at home. If you end up finding her, can you please call us and we'll come get her? Really? You didn't try fucking beer?
I didn't like the Chivas regale.
You didn't fucking tell it to our fucking listeners. I like it.
I like it, but I don't. It wasn't sitting well.
Whiskey?
I don't know. But it's probably because I had Whataburger. I had Whataburger.
So did I. and McDonald's.
It's not silly.
Anyways, so yeah, back to the story. So he's like, yeah, if you ever find my mom's urn, can you just please return it to her? So my dad's like, sure.
But the house was crazy. I remember that we would pass by and there would be like the sisters would be outside like in bikinis trying to get like a suntan.
Yeah, they were out there, and so my we rented out. My parents rented out. Whatnot. It started to become kind of funky because I think they've had maybe 4 to 5 tenants there. The first couple of tenants, they would tell my parents that some weird shit would happen there, but my parents, whatever. It wasn't until the 3rd and 4th that my parents started to kind of pay attention because those tenants were tenants that were family friends, if you want to put it like that. So, I remember the first time. Remember Mojo?
Mojo, yeah.
So there was a cat he was our buddy. His name was Mojo. Well, we called him Mojo. And he had
out there.
He's small, yeah. Shout outs to Mojo. He had a little kid brother. Probably 7, 8. At the time. And so he would tell his mom that he had nightmares about an old lady pulling up to his room and trying to strangle him.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
And so, like any parent, like it's a dream.
Didn't they say that I would also hear people crying in the room?
They would hear people crying. Mm-hmm. And then so they moved out. And then the next person that moved in was a couple that had kids. And I remember she would tell the wife would tell my mom stories of what would happen there, like weird stuff, right? But one particular day, I went to go drop off my kid to school, and I bumped into Mom, and so we're walking down the hallway of our elementary school, and talking, and that the tenant's there dropping off her kid. So of course I'm just there listening, and she's like, "Hi, blah 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 blah." And while I'm there, she's like, "Guess what?" So the toys.
Who's this? My mom or
my mom and the lady start talking.
Oh,
and I'm just there waiting for them to finish their conversation to continue to walk out to school with my mom to her car, walk her out to her car.
Right.
But while I'm there, she's like, "Oh," they start making conversation, but that turns into, "Guess what happened?" And Mom was like, "What happened?" She goes, "Last night, we were in the kitchen and the toys turned on. My kids' toys, my toddler's toys." And so I was like, okay. So, I can see it in her face, like, okay, what the fuck does that have to do with me? She goes, but it was weird because it's a toddler. He doesn't know about the toys. We don't put batteries. So then we grabbed the toys that were turned on, and there was no batteries. So I could see it in her face. Her face was like, yeah, like, oh, I don't want to say anything that we know about it, but like, what the fuck? So they say their goodbyes. We're walking out, and at the same time, I was like, "Did you hear me?" Yeah.
Yes.
Long story short, after all these people, we start hearing stories. My brother and I, remember when we decided? Yeah. I still remember.
Well, the house was vacant. The house was vacant. We were fixing it. Remember, because the people that left a whole bunch of holes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we told our parents, we were like, "Hey, it was a Halloween night.
It was a Halloween night.
We told our parents that we're gonna go on Halloween night. We're gonna go." And Mom was like, "No."
But tell that from the beginning though, because I was like, I'm the one that told you. Like, I was running in I was trying to lose weight, so I was running in my fucking treadmill, and I'm like, we should fucking go do something. So I called you, like, let's go do some shit, and you're like, I'm down.
I was like, let's go.
Being your older brother, I'm like, well then go ask Dad for the fucking keys of the house. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I went. My mom said no, and my dad said no. So then I remember.
Well, why did they say no?
Because they said that.
Well, they said yes first.
They said first yes. But then they were like no, because se nos van a meter el demonio or se nos va a pegar algo. Or they were scared that it's demonic shit there, that they don't want us to be, attached to some type of spirit or something like that. But did we listen? No. So they didn't give us the keys.
Well, didn't you say he gave you the keys and then he took them away after he found out what we were going to do?
Yeah, it was something like that. But then I went earlier to do that because we were planning on going at midnight, remember? Mm-hmm. On Halloween. And they said no, so then I was just, okay, we're not going to go. And then I think I messaged you or something. And I was like, hey, let's go just check it out. Maybe the door's open. And then we went. And sure enough, the front door was open, right? It was supposed to be
it wasn't. No.
I guess it was.
No, we tried the front door and it was locked. I'm like, let's just go. Baby, my mom left the door open.
Oh, the garage was open. The garage was open.
So we go in there and we're like, man.
The garage was like creepy as hell too.
So this house is weird. It's a weird type of architectural way back in the, I guess, 70s. But I remember we would go into certain rooms and we would feel that it felt like dense. It felt just like heavy. Yeah. Remember? So we have our stupid recorders. I was like, hey,
voice recorder. We're recording with our phones and a voice recorder.
Yeah. And so we're like, you know what, fuck it. So we go upstairs. We go through the rooms, but they have an attic. So we go up through the garage. So we go upstairs to the attic. Do our stupid little fucking recording. Then we come back down and we leave.
Yeah.
We were in your white car, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So we're just in the car. We're like, let's see what we find. Let's just nothing. But towards the fucking end, when we're up there,
in the attic,
we hear this fucking growl.
Like growl, like right there in your ear growl.
Yeah, and it's like recorded. Like, what the fuck? Exactly like
that.
that.
Yeah, and it wasn't me.
It wasn't him or me. And we're like, what the fuck? So I think you said check your phone because we're recording.
Yeah.
And you could barely hear it on the video.
Yeah.
But man,
it was creepy as hell.
Until this day, the people that are there, the people before that, she's like, they moved dolls.
No, they also moved. I think it was probably the people before that. Like the mama, they always ask our parents, hey, no les han dicho nada? Like, before that stuff happens in the house, my parents are just like, deny. No.
Yeah, they always ask our parents, hey, is there something weird about this house? And my parents like, nope, no, everything's good.
But they move candles and stuff. They would move
candles and dolls.
Or in that room, especially. Remember that previous one, the lady would tell my mom that she would have nightmares and that she would wake up and she would see an old lady choking her.
Yeah, and she would imagine an old lady. And the weird part is,
that's the old lady that was died.
The person that died, their mom was, according to them, she was in her 80s, so she was an old lady. But it's some weird shit. I mean, the last person that was there that they noticed weird shit, my parents, my mom would be like, I don't know what she's talking about. I think she told mom, I don't give a fuck. I mean, they're not gonna move me. They're not gonna make me move out whatever's out there. It's cool.
Yeah, dude. But right now, the scary shit is going on at my parents' house.
Our parents' house is weird, dude.
Ever since I was little, the first one, I think. You remember when we were little, dude? We were in my dad's room, and this was back before they remodeled the house. And my mom was chilling on the sofa.
Oh, and she just ran inside screaming.
Yeah, they pulled her hair.
I remember.
And she thought it was me.
And then she thought it was me, and then
when she turned, we were in the room with my dad.
Well, I didn't even know this, but that same house is the house that our aunt lived in, and apparently they would see shit and hear shit. They would knock on their door every day, to the point that my uncle slept on the couch, literally by the door. Once he heard the knocks, he would open the door to see who the fuck was fucking with him. But there was nobody there.
It's giving me goosebumps in my
fucking jacket that's like fucking from New York.
Hey, to that note though, some crazy shit. I blame the movie that we were watching when I saw the little girl in the restroom.
The Exorcist?
The Exorcist, yeah. But I was like 6 or 7, maybe 15. But no, but I think I was like 6 or 7, and it would come on during Halloween. Remember the Telemundo would put on like Exorcist and stuff.
But what happened there?
So
what happened?
We were watching the movie, and my mom would tell us, like, she would tell me pretty much. She's like, "Hey, don't watch it because you're gonna get nightmares. Don't watch it. You're gonna be scared." And my brother just fucking left, I guess, to go take a piss. But to that point, I was like, I'll just watch a little bit. I was watching, and I was like, you know what, Mom, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to my room. I went to my room, and I closed my eyes. And then we have a restroom right next to our room. Excuse me. A restroom right next to the room where the door was open. And I was just there, trying to go to sleep. Closing my eyes. And then I turned around and opened them. And there's a little girl just all in white standing there in the doorway of the restroom. It gives me chills right now. talking about it. But I think to that, I think it was just my imagination playing tricks. But in that house, I've always heard shit. Like I've always heard.
I don't know what was weird. Your fucking dog's looking at me pissed with that little girl outside.
Oh, there's a little girl outside. The neighbor. Yeah. She scares the shit out of me sometimes. When I'm outside, she'll be like,
Did you not hear me? I don't know what was weird. The little girl looking at me pissed, or your fucking dog looking at me pissed.
But
disclaimer, I'm fucking with you. There's no little girl. It's just the dogs.
Or is there a little girl? A little spirit. But yeah, that I saw that little girl. I think it was my imagination though. But I always heard stuff like, especially when I would study late at night. First, I would hear my dad go get like a snack like at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Right, and then out of nowhere, you just hear like the dishes fall like in the sink.
I heard that.
I heard that a lot.
I've heard that now that I'm an adult. Like I remember.
Your house is fucking creepy too, dude.
My house is creepy.
Your house is scary as fuck.
I've seen some weird ass shit, dude.
Remember we were outside. We were chilling outside. Dude, I think you invited us for a cookout.
I did invite you.
I had to go take a shit. We're outside, and my brother was just talking about
before he says it, because he makes fun of me, because I believe in ghosts. I really do.
He's a scaredy cat.
But check this out. I'm a scaredy cat.
I get scared too, but
I got the balls to go do shit.
No, but you're more emotional about it. You show more.
Yeah.
More that I'm fucking scared. I saw a face.
You gotta put some emotion behind that shit.
I was dreaming and I saw a dog with 3 heads and the demon with the fucking devil was chasing me in my dream, and then I dreamed that I cut a dude's head off.
I do have,
but it was me. They cut my head. And I was like,
no, what? I've had dreams of the devil, and I've had dreams of fucking cartel members and shit. But they tell
exactly shit like that. I get scared, but I'm like, oh shit. How's that?
Yeah, but the videos, y'all say it's because of the videos that I watch from the cartel cutting people's heads off. Maybe that's true.
I think so.
I'm afraid. I believe in ghosts. I am afraid, but I like to go, like, if they're like, hey, check out that house. That house is 100% haunted. Are you down?
You're a believer.
I'm fucking shit. I'll be shitting my britches, but I'll go. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I know what you're saying.
So I'm telling this ghost story, and he's making fun of me. And I'll let you continue after that.
We're outside, like, eating some carne asada, some fajitas. And I'm like, man, I need to go take a dump. And, hey, bro, let me borrow your restroom. All right, I'm going inside.
You gotta tell what we're talking about.
We're talking about what? Oh, about you hearing steps.
So the people that sold us the house,
right?
The lady that lived there, she had a few miscarriages. So
we think that's what it is.
We think so, what I was telling my brother and my parents were that it was kind of funky. One Saturday morning, I mean, we were awake. We weren't asleep. My wife and I, we were in bed, just straight up awake. We've been awake for maybe an hour or so. And our kids were very little. So we heard literally, our floor's just tile. We heard them running at it, like towards our room. And I even told my wife, hey, watch out, because they're about to show up and jump on the bed. But they never showed up. I mean, literally, they were fucking loud as just, you could hear them.
Going to the room.
And they never fucking showed up.
Like barefoot, right?
Yeah, barefoot. So I'm like, what the fuck? She goes, maybe they went to the kitchen. So we both got up. We went, and we forgot that night before, they all slept in the living room to watch movies. And so we go up, and we're looking at them asleep. And then the crazy part is, well, you could say they were asleep, or maybe they weren't. But the crazy part is, if they weren't, they had pajamas, like those full onesies.
Oh, the onesies.
So there's no way they could have made that noise. Or like, whoa. And we heard them a few times. So that's what I was telling my parents.
Yeah.
Like,
and I was just laughing.
Footsteps. Yeah.
I was making fun of him. I was like, you fucking pussy. So then transitioned to me going to take a shit. I was just there, like, doing my business. And then I hear right outside the door, like somebody barefoot crossing the door. I was like, oh, it must be the sobrinos, must be the nephews, just like crossing around. And I hear it again. I was like, what the
fucking with me, but I bet you my brother said that's what.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's my bro. My bro's messing with me. So then I finished doing my business, wipe with wipies, because wipies is the shit. I get out and there's nobody there, so I was like, hey, you're inside, right? You're messing with me. You're walking in front of the door barefoot. They were just looked at me. No, I was like, oh, they're just like.
Because I remember you like, did you send the kids inside?
Yeah.
You fucking send the kids in. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. Until my mom's like, what are you talking about? Everybody's been out here. You're like, oh, your face just immediately just changed. You're like, what? Oh shit! I just heard the little fucking footsteps and I thought you were fucking with me. You're like, I'm like, shut the fuck up,
yeah.
dude. And you're like, no,
that was trippy. That was trippy. But at the moment, I was like, oh dang, like he's fucking with me. And then once y'all said that, I was like, oh shit, like something's fucking with this house. That's why I don't like your house.
Well, that same house, which I still live in it today. I remember I think
it is the miscarriages though. I think it's the spirits of the little babies.
I used to work at a place that's probably like 3 minutes away walking from the house. So I remember that during lunch, I would go straight home and eat sandwiches and shit. And so I remember one day, I go home, I'm fucking making a sandwich. And then I go to the living room and I start watching ESPN. And at the same time, that's when my wife and I would play with each other. We would like try to scare each other, like, ooh. So I'm looking at the TV and in the corner of my eye, I look and I see her, or it's a shadow, like peeking out and going back in, like trying to hide. So I'm like, I got pissed. I'm like, she's trying to fucking scare me. So I get up. The moment I get up, I remember that she had called me and said, hey, I'm going with your mom shopping. So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, somebody broke in. Fuck. So I'm walking slowly to the hallway, nobody there. I go to each room, nobody there. And my house, we only go in through the kitchen door because that's where our carport ends. So the living room door is rarely used unless we have company. So I end up going all the way to the kitchen, and when I get to the kitchen, everything is locked. So then you know what I do? I go to the living room, I grab my sandwich, and I get the fuck out of there. I go back to work, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, nothing. I just wanted to eat my sandwich here, but
when he tells you the stories, it's a lot more dramatic than he's just saying.
Yeah, because it's like, what the fuck? But what about when we saw my dad in the living room? My mom and
I wasn't there, bro.
I know you weren't. What about your house? Didn't somebody die?
They did die.
Wow.
But we never heard anything. I don't think they died in the house though. I don't know what happened. But at my parents' house, I remember another instance when I was already in your room. You were already married and I moved into your room. I remember going to bed. Like this was like I was like 18 already. I was already grown. I had
You had a beard.
I had hairs.
You had real hairs.
I had real hairs. So I was there laying down, and the bed. Remember the bed? I don't know if does it still have two colchones still.
I don't know.
The box spring. It was higher than usual. The box spring. And we had two mattresses on top of each other. It was fucking high. Or if you fall off the bed, you fucking would hurt yourself. So I was laying down trying to go to sleep, and then I was facing the wall, and then I turned back around and I like opened my eyes, and then I see a shadow, the height of the bed, just like walk like pretty much past me and go into the closet. And I was like, you know how when you're like just don't think it's real, but then you're like, oh shit, I'm fucking awake.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I'm not asleep because I'm trying to go to sleep, but I'm not asleep. And this thing just passes me and goes into the closet. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know if you know this, but that closet's that closet that our uncle saw a lady come out of it.
Oh, it used to be a closet from the other end too, right?
No.
No, because the closet used to have a door on the other side to the sala.
But that's where...
Because that's where my parents' room used to be.
Yep.
Yeah. The sala was tiny, and the room was next.
You're right. So, see, I always thought that he saw that lady in the current house he lives in with your tetra. You know, it was in the fucking same closet you saw that fucking shadow.
So that shadow went in there. It was fucking creepy, dude. I was like, at the time, I was like, what the hell is that?
I'm sorry that I burped. I'm just saying because my wife said that it's unprofessional when I burp and you can hear it.
We're not
there
professional.
You go.
Professional.
Okay, continue.
But yeah, that was creepy as hell too. Like, just I don't know what it was. Like, so I told my mom, she's like, she freaked out a little bit. I think when you tell a story, like, come on, and I was like, and then she's like, no, no te asustes. I'm like, at the moment, no, because at the moment I was like, is that what I just saw? Did I just see that?
For our Anglo listeners, no te asustes means did you get scared?
And I was like, no, I mean, I just saw it and I didn't think nothing of it. Like, nothing happened. But the crazy stuff is my mom just happened to her.
Yeah, so their house, I don't know. I mean, it's an older house. To what I was told that I can remember, our neighbors, which have already passed, the area we live in back in the day were like, it was like the outskirts of Fort Worth. So
it was pretty much
like prostitutes
whorehouses.
and whorehouses, and so yeah, we live in that area. That's not how it is. Well, yeah, it is kind of like that still. But so I mean, you're talking about cowboys and killings and stuff. So maybe I don't know, but
yeah,
nowadays, I've experienced it in their house. So they hear doors opening and closing, people walking or like footsteps. But I remember one day I was at I don't even know why I was at their house. I'm not gonna say it was late, but it was probably about 8, 9 o'clock. And they're in their room, and I'm in the living room. And that's why I'm weird. It's like I was already married. I don't know what I was doing there, but I hear so before I even continue, 9 out of 10 Hispanic moms. Well, no, 9 out of 10 Mexican moms. When they wash dishes, and then on one side of the sink, they're washing them. Yet on the other side, they're setting the dishes for them to dry.
Right.
So they don't dry them up and set them where they go in the cabinets. They let them dry naturally. So So I'm there. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I'm there watching TV, and I hear this racket, just shit breaking. I'm thinking I've told my mom, I was thinking, Mom, why would you leave wet dishes? They're sliding, they're gonna break. So I get up all upset, thinking she already broke all of her fucking dishes. And I get to the sink, there ain't shit.
There's no dishes in the sink.
So then I just go back to the living room, like, what the fuck? And I tell my parents, like, hey, I just heard this shit that y'all hear. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, we're telling you. And lately, like a couple of days ago, they heard, my mom heard, their TV turned on. They changed the channels. I don't know if they told you. It changed the channels on its own.
Yeah.
They were watching TV. The fucking controller was on the other side of the living room.
I think that's Alexa.
Maybe. And then the kitchen table started to move on its own while she had company.
Yeah, that was creepy.
And we tried to recreate it, and it's hard. You can't. It's
a glass table just started rattling.
You can recreate it if you bump into it hard enough where it's like it makes you say, "Ouch," And it's just weird. But for the listeners out there, I don't know if y'all believe or not. I do.
My coworker said he has a good story. He said
I believe in ghosts.
When he comes on to be a guest,
hopefully he does, and then maybe I can take him to Mexico. Now Mexico, woo! I don't know why, if it's just because it's old, but man.
They also murdered our aunt there.
They did murder our aunt there, and
that's scary. I'm always scared not the area though. It's like creepy.
It's creepy
at night because it's pitch black. It's just like you try to open your eyes and you can't see nothing.
Even though my balls are fucking super small whenever I'm over there, and I'm like, let's go do this shit. At least I tell you, let's go do it. Nah, I don't want to do it.
We went. You were shooting bricks.
Mm-mm. But yeah, Mexico's a different story. It's weird. But yeah, guys. I mean, hopefully y'all believe in ghost stories, and if y'all don't. Didn't you tell me about a coworker that in the old downtown Fort Worth, that's that hotel that's supposedly haunted, that her boyfriend showed up and like the little boy crying outside? Maybe it was your older job, your previous job. You told me. You had a coworker that believed that she was
yeah, that's right. Yeah, supposedly there's a lot of hauntings in downtown. There's a lot of old historical buildings.
Yeah, and you said that
it was a library I think it's an old library that's down there.
Because there's like all those ghost people that
they
go really into it. They're like, Fort Worth has at least for sure that hotel that's haunted. That you even told me that she went and that her boyfriend showed up and that he was like, who's that little boy crying outside in the hallway? And she's like, there's nobody here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, something like that. She showed me some pictures. Like you can see like a
this
silhouette.
Was fucking lying to me. Just
no, seriously. I can't remember the details, but she's pretty much a ghost hunter. She goes out there and she went to
she go to a fucking cemetery.
What's that place? Mineral Wells and Mineral
Well,
Wells.
minerals they have, yeah.
They have another hotel there that's abandoned.
And they didn't do that. Gold's Bridge.
And then there, she was telling me, she showed me some pictures. It's like you can see the silhouette. Like we saw somebody there, like just standing there. And we took a picture of everything, and then in the pictures it shows up. But yeah, like, but those places you have to like pretty much
Like
breaking and entering and get into the to the facility or building. But to that,
I think that's it, guys.
episode 4 coming to a close.
Just because, like we always said in the beginning, we based on how our cigar goes, I'm pretty much done with my cigar. The length of the cigar. Last week's it was long, like your host here, and this week is short, it's like your other host. So hopefully I like this one.
It was a good one.
You listeners, I know we have a lot. Tell us what y'all want to talk about. I mean, put on there. Talk about this. Cars or Barbies. I don't know. Just whatever y'all have an idea. If y'all want us to test out a certain cigar, it's not too expensive because we're not that rich. Or drinks. I mean,
put it in the
summer's
comments.
coming, spring's coming. We're probably gonna switch the liqueur to maybe beers.
Yeah, some
I don't
beers.
know.
Maybe some beers or some mixed drinks.
Give us some ideas of what y'all want to talk about, and I mean, like the whole thing is pretty much just the venting out.
Telling stories.
Regular guys, just imagine it's you guys are here and y'all want to talk about anything. Dogs. My dog is a Catahoula leopard. FYI.
I got one last dad joke.
Say it.
This is not a dad joke. Apologies. My penis was in the Guinness Book of World Records. But then the librarian asked me to take it out.
He bleeps out my fucking beating children, but he says penis. Wow.
Penis is not a bad word.
And
It's
with
a
that,
part of the body.
We say goodnight. Till next week, episode 5.
Cue ending music.
Peace out.
See ya. Hope it recorded.
Watch that shit not record. Shit not record. Shit not record. Shit not record.
Hope it recorded. Hope it recorded.
Bros Taking Shots.